I saw a PFF mock draft. Now, they're going to go tackle at 9.
Yeah.
If they go tackle at 9, I'm going to have a reaction that makes Chernobyl look like a small accident. You can't win a Super Bowl if your quarterback is terrible. It happens.
Yeah.
It's extraordinarily rare.
We won 2 Super Bowls without Tyreek Hill. Yeah, you know, it'd be a lot easier having Tyreek Hill on the goddamn offense.
Two things can be true at the same time. The Chiefs are a really good team. The Raiders are an absolute disaster.
It's that football show here on KC Sports Network. Tucker Franklin hanging out with Matt Verderame live in the flesh, in person. I think we have doubled our quota for in-person shows than we've done just this last 2 months than we've been in the whole time that this show has been alive. Thanks to our partners, Ben Holiday, Bald & Bond Bourbon.
Beautiful.
What we should do is we got 2 glasses right here.
Yeah.
Start the show, open the bottle, and we can't finish the show until the bottle's done.
Yeah, or we just pass out, in which case somebody just has to stop the recording eventually and call an ambulance.
I think BJ will come back eventually.
That's good. Well, let's hope it's before the poisoning sets in after drinking an entire bottle of bourbon in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's true. But we're here at the 2026 NFL Scouting Combine. Been here since Monday. This is your Friday edition of that football show, so we do appreciate everybody hanging with us, as we've done a lot of content on the KC Sports Network channel. We've been grinding out here. Matt, how's it been? How you doing?
Been good. It's been good. Hanging out, living the dream at the Indiana Convention Center.
I mean,
got in there on Tuesday, as you mentioned. We've seen most of the position group speak. We're recording this on Thursday afternoon, so we obviously haven't seen the quarterbacks yet. The receivers, they go Friday morning. Mm-hmm. Pretty safe to say Chiefs aren't thinking a quarterback early. So, not missing anything there. Wide receiver, obviously, maybe. But it's been good. We heard from the GMs, heard from most of the coaches. All in all, a productive combine. So, no complaints.
No, it's been a pretty productive one. We've gotten the measurements from some prospects coming out here as we start workouts. Well, by the time we're recording this podcast, I should mention, you guys are listening to this. You guys already know what's going on and what's going down on Friday morning. But lots of stuff, lots of things going around, flying around. We'll start with, I guess Brett Veach's podium is a little bit of old news, but still plenty there to talk about and to discuss as the Chiefs' offseason plan is getting underway now.
Yeah.
Free agency will be here before we know it. We'll be doing the breaking news teams. We'll have all
March 9th, tampering period opens up.
That's insane because it's like March this weekend.
I know. It's literally, what, a week? It's like 11 days away, 12, basically. It's a week and a half. So, I'm going to try to sleep a little bit between now and then. And then March 9th is going to come, and it's going to be, I think, noon Eastern time, which is when tampering begins. Mm-hmm. So 11 Central. And then at like 12:01, there's a deluge of contracts are going to come in. Wow, they came together quick.
Yep, just started talking.
It's because they all happened down the street here. But listen, there's a lot to get to. Veach just pointed out to me. He talked on Tuesday. He basically said they need a better running game, which
several times actually.
Shocking news that they need a better running game. He mentioned he thought Jeremiah Love was one of the best players in this draft. He mentioned him. He mentioned Caleb Downs, Arvell Reese. So, look, I think maybe the biggest development happened, ironically, by the Jets because they said that they're not letting Breece Hall go.
Yeah.
And then they traded Jermaine Johnson away
for
Gervonta Sweat. Right.
Yeah.
So now, they need edge, and they're clearly not going to take a running back, or not that we thought they'd take Love, but they're definitely not taking him.
Yeah.
And they are not going to let Breece Hall walk out of the building. So the Chiefs have been very affected by the Jets, which
who would have thought
it's never good when you're affected by the Jets unless you're playing them, which the Chiefs are playing them this year.
They've also, that is
good news.
Maybe I should go to is it a home game? I don't have
the game. I know they play the Pats at home. Yes, it's a home game.
Okay, maybe that's the game that I decided to go to. Remember last year, everyone's like, ew, you want to go to the Colts?
It turned out to be the great finale of their season if we just forget the rest of it happened.
Didn't win another game after that.
Yes.
So I picked a good one to go to.
That was it.
It is very interesting when you talk about the Jets, and the trade makes a little bit of sense when you bring that one up with the Sweat for Johnson because Johnson's a guy who was with Robert Saleh, is a solid guy, so that makes a little bit of sense. He hasn't quite been the same since that Achilles injury that he had. Really, nobody is the same after they have an Achilles injury, but I honestly think that was a pretty good trade for the Jets.
I think it's one of those trades it's not the worst thing for either team.
Sure,
right? Get a little change of scenery and. if you're the Titans, like you're getting a guy you're familiar with, and he can help coach up the defense for these guys who are learning it. If you're Sweat, you get an opportunity to, kind of reinvigorate your young career. You're still on his rookie deal. So, but, now with the Jets doing that, like you wonder, like Arvell Reese, you put him in Penn. Probably depends on whether or not they see him as like an inside backer or an edge guy, because that's been in the conversation. But, it impacts Kansas City.
It does. And like the Chiefs have given them a lot of late round draft picks recently with, when it comes to Derek Nottie, McCole Hardman.
Cole Hardman at least caught a touchdown pass in a big spot.
That's true. We can't really knock on that trade.
Derek Nottie.
That's a tough one.
That trade deserves a 30 for 30. Like I would have given anything to be on the phone to hear that conversation. Brett calling up Darren Moe and being like, Darren, listen.
It was a Sunday too, by the way.
Yeah, it was. You're right. Darren, listen. We need to get some help on the D line. Like, you thinking Quinnen? No. Jermaine? Nope. How do you feel about Derek Nottie? And then Mogi just hammering down the mute button to keep from just laughing hysterically.
Right.
And then being like, a seventh? And then Veach just be like, whoa, no, but we'll do a swap.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Deal. And they just started just jumping up like Jerry Maguire and show me the money, screaming. Yeah. I feel like that's basically what that was. Yes. So we do know that the Chiefs and Jets are always in contact. Hell, they almost traded for Hall.
That's true. They did.
Which actually would have been a real trade. But yeah, I mean, it's you never know. You never know what the hell's going to happen with the Chiefs and the Jets.
I do always love those teams that always seem to trade with each other.
Yeah.
It's starting to seem like the Chiefs and Jets are, but for a long time it was always like the Niners and the Chiefs. Especially with quarterbacks.
Yeah, the 90s. My God, it was a speed dial.
It was just always trading each other. Well, I guess they did make a trade this year. The Chiefs and the Niners did for Sky Moore. So they gave up Sky Moore. So
that pipeline's still there. Yeah. AJ Jenkins and Jonathan Baldwin. Remember that? Blockbuster years back.
My gosh. Yeah, we both messed up.
We have deep regret. We also have deep regret.
Do you want to trade our regretful picks?
Would you like to trade your pain for our pain? We would. Okay, great. As it turns out, neither guy's any good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Veach didn't say a whole hell of a lot. Like, there was no blockbuster. Like, he talked a little bit. So, one thing that I thought was interesting, Danny got cut the day before he spoke, right? So, he's out on Monday.
He did.
And then Veach was asked about Jawaan Taylor and what the plan might be there.
Yeah.
And Brett started to say, he was like, well, the Dana thing was a little bit different because Dana was in the building.
That's verbatim what he said.
And he's like, I got to speak with him, and he's such a quality guy.
Yeah.
Basically said, like, I want to let him know in person.
Yeah.
But that was what he was driving at, right? And then he kind of pivoted from that. I was like, well, we've got $60 million in renewable contracts, like, restructuring he was talking about.
Yeah.
And then he mentioned Tranquill as well. And everything's up for interpretation. I took that as, if Jawaan was in the building, we may have already done this.
Right, yeah.
Because that was what he initially started to say. And then he was like, well, but also, and then he was like, we could keep him because there's different things we can do. If they cut Jawaan Taylor, they save $20 million. If they cut Drue Tranquill, they save $6 million.
Yeah.
I have to think, while there are all options always on the table, I got to think that the most likely option is they cut them both. I mean,
yeah,
I could. They're not going to extend Tranquill, so that's not happening. So either you're cutting Tranquill or you're just playing him out on the last year of his deal.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor, in theory, you could extend him. You put down his $28 million cap hit to a quarter of that.
Mm-hmm.
You could. The question with him is, like, are you willing to deal with the penalties? Are you willing to just, hey, man, Absolutely. We're going to bake in that 15 times a year, you're going to forget what planet you're on, and you're going to line up in the tunnel when we have the ball on the 35-yard line. Like, that is a pot. Like, we are baking that in.
Mm-hmm.
Also, are you baking in that Eric Bieniemy might have an embolism, like, week 3 of the preseason with this?
Maybe they're banking on Eric Bieniemy fixing it,
which is another potential question, right?
Could he? Probably.
Andy just like pokes his head in and he's like, on you, buddy.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going on his scooter while the knee's recovering.
What do you think that first meeting is like when all the guys, because I'm sure they've all been out of the building, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they haven't had to be back for a while because, the season was over and they actually had real time off for the first time in
Good for that.
7 years.
Yes. It's the first time they've seen their families. My God, Timmy's gotten big. Yeah. Last time he saw me, I was 8. Now he's driving. Yeah.
Pretty much is how it's gone. I wondered what that first meeting's gonna be like when Eric Bieniemy, he's he's probably thrown up some film and watched Jawaan Taylor penalties. You think he's just
It's like a Clockwork Orange.
He's swearing to
Eyes are
himself.
just-
God, that first meeting when he throws up that offensive tape, he's like, all right, let's go back, let's watch some of the stuff this year. I would love to be a fly on the wall in that like first team meeting where he's like, here's what you guys did last year, and this is where you guys all fucked up last year. Like, I'm gonna let you know.
There's a better than 50% chance that he physically goes after somebody in the room during the, whether it's him or Rashee Rice.
Both, actually.
Yeah, he's
I
like,
think
why
great
don't you
odds.
jog through another route? And
Minus 500 for both.
does he try to pick up Rashee Rice and beat Jawaan Taylor with Rashee Rice?
Ooh.
A little 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah.
But no, look, those are options that are on the table. I think the bottom line coming out of here, or at least as we're almost out of here. I mean, the combine will run through the weekend. You'll have all the on-field testing and everything else. But there haven't been, so like some years you come here and there are just massive bombshells, whether it's the Chiefs or like otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Jalen Carter had to leave the combine because of legal trouble.
I think that was my first combine.
Oh, I mean,
that was nuts.
Yeah, there have been years like that, or like I remember there was a year medical with what was his first name? Bowers, the DN from Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
Is it DeQuan Bowers or something like that?
Yeah.
And he was thought to be a really high end pick, and then they were like, his body's destroyed, like he can't play, and he ended up going in the second round, I believe, to Tampa, but he just never. That was it.
Anything, yeah.
And so you just like those are the things where you sit there and go, okay, what's going to happen? Well, so far, nothing like that has happened where you just go, oh, that guy now, his medical's shot or his testing was so bad or so good.
Yeah.
And of course, like there's a lot of testing to be done. All the testing's coming up. It starts on Thursday. So we'll see. But I think for the Chiefs, nothing has radically changed here other than, okay, Breece Hall's not going to be available.
Sure.
Javonte Williams is signed.
Yep.
So now it's like ETN, Walker, and like maybe Dowdle.
Yeah.
And if it's not those guys, then you're getting into like that next tier, like that like, okay, we signed a guy, but Jeremiah Love, he's at 9.
Yeah.
Like, we're involved.
Yeah. No, that's kind of what it seems like it is. And I think we've hit the point of the offseason. Chiefs fans are not very used to spending this much time in the offseason.
Normally we're like to training camp.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is like, that's where we've reached already of just like thinking through reasonings to bring guys in and roster construction, right? We're thinking those in, and we're usually this deep in it, and then oh shit, the draft's here type of deal.
Yes.
But it's we are 2 months into the off season, and we are usually where we are with the beginning of the off season in terms of thinking through all of this stuff. So I think sometimes it's really easy to overthink and try to big brain things with when you're thinking about roster construction, free agency, draft picks, players, and the more like idle time that we have as Chiefs fans is the worst we're going to get. You know, it's just one of the things you just keep overthinking about. Okay, well, what if they do this? What if this above them happens, and then they have to do this, and then in free agency they need to do this if they're going to do that,
which is how we wake up to get up on April 20th, and somebody's like, I think Ty Simpson should go number 1. Like,
right.
I promise you, that think piece is coming like April 20th. And if it's not Ty Simpson, it'll be some other hilarious, like, what? Maybe the Raiders should trade down and then just take Jeremiah Love to pair with Ashton Genty, have a super backfield. Like the takes get dumber by the day,
right?
Because we all start to have like Stockholm Syndrome, where we're just sitting in our offices going, what if the Chiefs did? What if the Chiefs took Ty Simpson?
Yeah.
What if they went to a 2-quarterback offense?
Yeah,
like,
right.
You know, and so like, look, right now, if you're just looking at the offseason, let's put free agency to the side for a moment. Although I should add the massive ungodly caveat that like free agency comes before the draft.
It does.
So free agency is going to massively color what the hell happens in the draft, which people seem to just glaze over. Like, this team needs a tackle. It's like, yeah, well, they might sign that guy, and then they don't need him. tackle because they just got him for $80 million.
Right.
But the point being, as we sit here right now, if you want to be that guy who's like 8 draft simulators up, like you're like NASA getting ready to launch a spaceship, okay? If you're like, okay, I've got the control panel up, like Mendoza's going 1, barring something absolutely stunning and or catastrophic. Like he's going number 1.
Yeah.
Then you get into the Jets at 2. Smart money says it's going to be an edge guy, Arvell Reese.
Probably Vel, yeah.
No, probably Reese. Number 3, Cardinals. As we sit here, probably a tackle. Like
Probably.
could be Malagoa, could be Fano, but like pencil a tackle. Number 4, the Titans. That's where like that roster is not good. And so you could have a lot of different. Now, also keep in mind, they have the most cap space in the NFL.
Yeah. Positions of need, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Positions of need, look at the menu. Like we'll take the entire right side. But like, they also have the most cap space in football. So they are going to fill a lot of those needs.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like a du jour of needs. Like Borgonzi, I remember last year, he talked extensively at the Combine about we are going to build through the lines. That is what we are going to do. If you follow that plan of the modus operandi, it would maybe be like Bailey or Bain.
Probably.
Like that would make the most sense. There's also the thought of, hey, we have Cam Ward and our best receiver is Matt Verderame. And so like, that's not good because she's 37 and broken down. And so like, maybe we take Carnell Tate, you know, like, so they're a question mark. At 5, you have the Giants. I've seen a lot of ideas of like, hey, let's take a receiver. I don't understand. Like, they have neighbors. If they sign Robinson back, does that team not have bigger needs?
Yeah, I mean,
gosh. It feels like that's a great spot for Downs. It feels like that would be like pairing with Javon Holland.
they have a horrible secondary.
Like, let him be the Kyle Hamilton of John Harbaugh's new team.
No.
6, the Browns. I mean, tackle, right? They literally don't have an offensive contract.
Yeah.
It is a problem.
They could sign every offensive lineman and still need an offensive lineman.
That's right. The Commanders at 7. Look. I think the biggest need they have is a DN. Like they stink defensively, man.
Yeah.
So like if Bailey's gone and Reese is gone, like I think that's where Bain might go. Plus they have a defensive minded head coach.
They do.
And then at this 8 with the Saints, I've seen people say Love. Here's the problem I have with this. Like, the Saints are going to take a running back right now? Really? That's the problem the Saints have? I feel like the corner out of, Mansour, did I pronounce his name? Out of LSU.
LSU, yeah.
He's down the road. They've lost Paulson and Debo and a lot more over the last couple of years. Taylor's a free agent right now, or about to be. That seems like the biggest need that team has.
Yeah.
And if you can get a lockdown corner, that adds more value than like a sidekick to Alvin Kamara, who I understand is like going to eventually be like the lead guy here in a year, maybe even immediately.
Yeah.
Which, if that board fell that way, if you're the Chiefs, you're looking at like maybe Tate's available, Love is available, Lemon is available if you so choose at 9. That's a board that would scream that you take an offensive player at 9.
Yeah.
You're not if Bain, Bailey, and Reese are gone, you're not taking a defensive player there. I would be shocked. So
I agree.
At that point, you probably just take Love and run out the door, unless you have ETN, in which case then maybe either trade back or take a receiver or whatever.
That's true. And again, with the free agency thing, you look at defensive ends, and we've talked about this too. Like the defensive end market's not massive, and I don't think you can get a guy that you're probably going to need to sign a free agent and draft one.
Yeah,
as they have to, because their edge room is really bad. Herbie Teope reported on KC Sports Network that it doesn't seem like that the Chiefs are going to pick up the 5th-year option for Felix Anudike-Uzomah.
It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah,
I'm going to go ahead.
I'm saying that nicely.
I would like to.
They're not. They're probably not.
I will confirm Herbie's report without doing any reporting and tell you that they are not picking up the 50-year option.
Yeah. So it's one of the things where they just want to get him healthy. They want to get him on the field and have a good year this year.
Sure.
Is kind of what they want to see.
That would be the dream.
That would be great if he ends up being a contributor, but you can't bank on that.
There's no reason to bank on that.
And they just cut Mike Dana. And I know that, look, Joe Cullen, one of the things that we talked to him at the Combine, I think the first or second year he was the offensive line or defensive line coach. He sat down with us at the Combine with Sean Barber, and he was talking about if he could have a room full of guys, it'd be a room full of Mike Dana. It's just the way that they work. Injuries caught up to Mike Dana.
Yeah.
Happens.
Age.
Yeah.
He was a good player.
He earned that contract.
He did.
He did.
Listen, Mike Dana, You take a guy in day 3 and he turns into Mike Dana. That's a great pick.
You're happy with that?
Mike Dana was a good football player for the team. There is no shame in the way that all worked out. Last year he wasn't good, but like he was a good player. If Brett Veach could do it all over again, he'd do it all over again. I'm sure he would. But now you look forward and go, okay, D lineman in the room that you feel like can contribute to the team on some level. You got Jones, Karlaftis, Norman Lott, and then like Gelati kind of, right? Like, okay, year 2, let's see.
That's it.
You got 4 guys. They usually carry 9.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
They carry 9.
And one of those is an interior guy. Well, I guess Norman Lott's technically. He's a 3 tech, though. They don't have a 1 tech on their team.
Well, I mean, if they treat him like they did last offseason, he's about to be a 0 tech. So line him up like Gilbert Brown at the Packers.
To move to a 3-4 and make him a head-up nose.
Don Terry Poe. Yeah. But I mean, look, why not? They need, at a minimum, in my opinion, to sign 3 defensive linemen.
Yeah.
Like
they need to do work there.
Right?
Yeah.
And the guys who are out there, if you're wondering like, who's out there, okay, so Trey Hendrickson's the main guy, but they're not going to.
They're not going to.
That's not.
Yeah.
Here's the biggest guy that if they wanted to really do something, you'd be like Odafe Owe.
Okay.
So in 2024, he had 10 sacks for the Ravens. Former first-round pick. Then last year, he gets traded from the Ravens for Elodie Gilman to the Chargers.
Yep.
It's 7.5 sacks for Chargers in 12 games.
Pretty good.
Chargers have said they're not going to tag him. They'd like to work out a long-term deal, but they're not going to tag him. That guy gets to market. If I were the Chiefs, I mean, how do you feel about 4 and 80?
Yeah.
How's that sound? Because I will give you 4. First of all, you're taking him from the Chargers.
Yeah.
Second of all, that guy, good football player, and he fits with the Chiefs. He's good edge for all 3 downs.
Yep.
And he's Veach's nirvana. He's a former first-round pick.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Veach is just sitting there, just rubbing his hands, like that meme, it's like from around the corner. Like, if they wanted to spend, because I think Owe is going to get as much money as anybody at the edge class outside of Hendrickson.
Sure, yeah.
And then you get into the guys who are like the Kiwiti Pays of the world, Boye Mafe, exactly. So then you get that next tier. If the Chiefs really wanted to go ham, they could go out and get a guy like Owe. But that's a significant commitment, obviously. So it's a couple different options.
And that goes back to the point that Brett Veach kind of talked out of both sides of his mouth at the podium, where he's just like, "Hey, there's the really good players in this draft are at non-premium positions,"
Correct.
Which he's right.
Yep, he is right.
And he also was like, "But if you're getting a draft pick this high, you kind of want to use it on a premium position."
Right, because they're not going to technically. His thought process was, you're right. His thought process was, you're not going to see those guys hit free agency typically.
Which is right. He's correct on that.
So
100%.
I think what he was basically saying was, in a perfect world, like an edge rusher or a receiver. But if Jeremiah Love is sitting there and we're looking down the barrel of like Clyde coming back.
Sorry, it took me a minute to get Clyde there. I under that would hit me slow. But golly.
Kareem Hunt's our lead back. Like, then Jeremiah Love's coming to town, okay?
Yeah.
So I think, again, this is a thing with the Chiefs where I know there's a lot of thought nationally in my realm of the world where we're all sitting there looking at all 32 teams and say, well, what are they going to do? They don't have cap space. Look, that's bullshit. If they want to have a ton of cap space, so all you need to know is this, all right? They restructured Mahomes already, that's done. According to Over the Cap, they're like 3.5 over. I think Veach was saying they're like 6 over.
6, I think, is closer to 6.
Give or take. Like, okay, so they're a couple million over. Let's say they cut Tranquill, they get to even. Let's just live in that world. They cut Taylor, that's $20 million. They cut Noah Gray, which is like maybe not, but if they do it, now it's $24 million.
Wouldn't hate it, but yeah.
If they restructure Humphrey and Karlaftis, and they're up to $43 million in space.
That's before you touch Chris Jones' contract.
Correct. Or Trey Smith's. They could easily be at $50 million in space. No problem. Okay?
Yeah.
If you have $50 million in space, I think a lot of times people hear the annual value and they go, if they gave Odafe Owe 4 and 80, that means it's $20 million. No. I went and looked at this because I knew we might talk about this. Jawaan Taylor got 4 and 80. Yeah. Exactly. Do you know what his first year cap hit was for the Chiefs?
Was it 6?
$5 million.
5, okay.
Okay.
No, I knew they did some
The Chiefs could go out and do whatever they wanted to do with $50 million and be fine as long as the Hunts want to pay the cash out. Yeah. Which now that they're going to basically get paid to play in Kansas, shouldn't be a problem. So they're
flush with cash.
Yeah, he's good to go. He knows he never has to pay another bill the rest of his life because the state of Kansas has got it covered. I look at this and say, if you're the Chiefs, there's no reason you can't be aggressive.
Right.
There's no reason that you don't have to be like aggressive to a point that it's like dangerous for like your long-term health.
Sure.
But also too, next year, if you look at their caps hit next year, okay, so Mahomes is like an $85 million cap hit. Guess what? They're converting 40 million of it.
Yeah.
You know, Bolton, they could cut after this year for 15 million bucks. Now, who knows? They may give Bolton a 12-year extension. But like they could cut him. Noah Gray, they could cut if they don't cut this year. Butker, if he has another bad year, they could save like $4.5 million bucks there. Mm-hmm. The idea that the Chiefs are this like, oh no, what are they going to do with their caps? The Chiefs are fine cap wise.
Yeah.
They're fine. By the way, they've not a cent of dead money next year. Not
really?
1 cent. Not
wow.
one. Now they're, I'm sure, about to here with a couple cuts. But
yeah,
and then it's still not a ton. You know, they have no void years because that's not typically something they do. Like the Chiefs could go out and absolutely sign OA, Rashid Shaheed, Travis Etienne, and take your, I don't know, take a pick of another, Boye Mafe. I'm not saying they would do all those things.
The Seahawks, yeah.
Could do it. Could, just pillage the Seahawks. Just right. Kenneth Walker. Yeah. Just go on.
Kenneth Walker, Rashid Shaheed, Boye Mafe. Come on down.
That's right. We're winning the Super Bowl this year. We're taking it back. Just make a trade offer for like DeMarcus Lawrence. But yeah, if you're the Chiefs, again, are they going to do that?
Who knows?
Probably not. Could they do it? Could they afford to do it? Yeah, they could afford to do it. Mm-hmm. And that, to the point I think you were going to bring up earlier, is like people, like one thing I would advise people, we were talking about this at lunch.
Yeah.
There's a long off season. There are a lot of options. Tucker and I could sit here for 3 hours.
We could.
And lay out.
We have,
scenario.
actually.
Yes. Okay. Scenario after scenario after scenario of just, they could do this, they could do that. This team could do this, then would mean a chain reaction. Like, we could do all those things. The reality is, you cannot judge their offseason, which I know is going to happen anyway, so I'm speaking into just the void.
Yeah.
You cannot judge it by an hour of free agency. You cannot judge it by one move, because all these things happen in concert. Like, if the Chiefs don't make a move the first day of free agency and other teams are signing, like, it's fine. Like, they will execute a plan, then we can judge it. Then we can be like, look, that plan sucked. That plan was really good.
Yeah.
That plan was okay. Like, don't freak out every time you see a kernel that comes out from a report, or, Veach said this one thing and what does it mean? Or like, I saw a PFF mock draft that now, they're going to go tackle at 9.
Yeah.
If they go tackle at 9, I'm going to have a reaction that makes Chernobyl look like a small accident. Okay. Like, I will go insane if they do that.
Yeah.
But I really, I have a very hard time believing they're going to take a tackle at 9 based on the current roster.
I think that's all very fair. And it is difficult, as we were talking about earlier. It's difficult to let this all play out because the Chiefs are in a position that they haven't been in a really long time. So I just think that it's everyone just needs to relax on what all is going on. I don't think we need to take absolutely everything and micro dissect it down, like read between leaves that aren't there. When you read between the lines, sometimes too much, there's no lines there and you're just making all kinds of stuff up. So I do think that's my caution as we head into rumor season, as rumor season's kind of kicked off a little bit and we're now starting to take clips from places and think about, why are they saying this? Why is this being said here? Why is this? Not everything is that deep. And that's probably a lot in life as well. Not everything's that deep.
Yes.
And I would encourage you, if you are reading something, to maybe just think,
was this on Sports Illustrated? Because if it wasn't, no.
It doesn't fucking matter. Yeah.
Right. Or Nate Taylor, right? Keep him in and the rest of these people.
KCSN.com too, Herbie.
Of course.
Yep.
I mean, you're here, I would hope. If you're not doing that, what's
true.
wrong with you?
Bozo. If you're
Yeah, right. I mean, Herbie's been on just boots on the ground. I was looking like when Bain was talking, I was looking around and Herbie was just up against the podium. I was like, Herbie is involved.
I love Herbie so much, and just getting to spend a half a week with him has been so hilarious. It's like 8:00 the other night. He's like, "Well, I got to get ready for bed. I got to get up at 4." And I was like, "Why? Why are you waking up at 4?"
Military will do that to you.
It will, but he is so.
Had to get the early bird special at the old Spaghetti Factory.
Spaghetti Factory was calling his name.
Good place.
And he. he's very intent. He still uses like a voice recorder.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, and so like a lot of when I started out, I know you used to have that on your phone. Right?
Yes.
So you just record it on your phone, and you do that.
Can't trust the new technology.
You take a video, right?
Yeah, right.
You double purpose it, right?
Right.
You can tweet out the video. You can have the audio for that for if you need to transcribe it. Yeah. Herbie uses a voice recorder, and I think Herbie's old school to the max. I love him so much. Everything that he does, he loves and cares about journalism.
Yes, he does.
And I think that's what's really important about what he does. But just him, as you mentioned, pressed up against the podium, the voice recorder right next to the speaker so he can catch everything that he's saying. And then he's dipping out of there, going to another, getting next to the speaker so he can get voice recording. It was refreshing to see.
Always appreciated Herbie from my days of fan side when I first started covering all this stuff, and he was always nice to me. And I know a lot of people who were just not.
Yeah.
Always appreciate Herbie. So I'm glad he's on the beat for us. But listen, it's I mean, it's funny. Like you'll see like a mock draft come out, and it's from like bozosanonymous.com, you know, and it has the Chiefs taking like a kicker, and people are like, are they going to do this? Are they going to? What's going to? It's like, guys, everything that is said doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, look, big mock draft is killing this industry. Okay.
It is.
Big mock draft is taking this day. I feel like we almost have to like adjust for mock drafts during the offseason.
Wow.
Where people are just, look, if it's not by somebody who actually matters, and by matters, I'm talking like somebody's plugged in. You know, the Dan Jeremiahs, the Dane Bruglers, the Mel Kuypers, the
Matt Miller.
Matt Miller, of course, yeah, Matt. Like, if it's not from people like that, who cares?
Yes.
You know, who cares?
Yes.
Like, so like, for example, I'll throw myself in the sword here. If I did a mock draft every week, I promise you it would be total bullshit because I don't have the time. Like I'm doing a minute. There's no way I would be relying on like my own personal thoughts. Mm-hmm. I do one mock draft a year for SI. What I will do for that mock draft, I will reach out to sources I have with every organization in the league and be like, if I put this guy as a pick in the mock draft for you, am I a moron?
Yeah.
And if the answer to that question is no, then okay, fine. If the answer to that question is you're a moron, then okay, who would, out of these players, if you pick, would I not be a moron? Mm-hmm. Like, look, I'm not saying I'm going to nail 12 picks in the draft. Nobody does.
Sure, yeah.
But my mock draft is going to have a reasoning behind it. And the reasons, I do one of them. Right. I can dedicate the time. These people who put like when you see somebody put out like mock draft 17.0, like I promise you that person's not serious. That person is not serious. That person's not Daniel Jeremiah, who had a podium, by the way, yesterday here in Indianapolis.
Incredibly unserious.
I was like, and the media, listen, love DJ. The people who crowded around to ask DJ questions.
Oh, did you see the people that I didn't see? I wasn't there for it.
I was leaving as it was happening.
Gotcha.
And I got to tell you, I don't know how you have any dignity as a media member if you're crowding around another media member giving opinion. Like, buddy, go do some reporting.
I thought like the what does he call it? The group Zoom call that he does, the conference call was like I was like, I understand that. I get that.
I also don't phone into that.
No. I was like, I might be a touch much there, you know?
I also just feel like
throwing him on the podium.
There are people, if you do what I do, where you're trying to cover all these teams, I will be the first one to admit, okay, anybody who tells you, I watch all 32 teams, full shit. You don't have the time of day. I'd be divorced. I'd never see my children. Like,
right.
I will spend time throughout the year watching all 32 teams.
Yeah.
But my point is, I'm not watching all 32 teams every week.
Right.
Okay. I'm not catching the Falcons in week 16. I'm sorry. I don't have time to do that. I barely want to watch the Chiefs in week 16.
True.
Okay. So like, you don't have the time to do it, but if you're doing your job correctly, you're reaching out to people who are involved with that team. Mm-hmm. And like, hey, what's going on here? Or if you really need help, like, should have some friends who cover the team. Like, this is my perception. Am I wrong? Okay, I feel like there's a lot of this where you just get these people who just throw shit at the wall. And they're like, I don't know. Like the people who right now are like the biggest Chiefs need is tackle. There was one publication, I wouldn't even say who it was because it's so embarrassing. It's just brutal.
Good.
One of their biggest needs was interior offensive line. Yeah. Interior offensive line. What are we doing? Did anyone alive watch this football team? I would argue, if you said to me, other than the quarterback position, what is the least needy thing this team has? It's that.
Yeah.
It's the interior of their offensive line. Point is, don't believe everything you read. Like, for the love of God, don't believe everything you read.
I think that's a great stopping point for us to take a break. Let's do it. We'll take a break. We'll be back to talk about other things going around in the National Football League and what we're doing here in Indy. Coming up right after this, Chiefs.
Just a short drive from Kansas City. Experience the history, the heritage, and the bourbon at Holiday Distillery. Tour Missouri's oldest distillery, where real Missouri bourbon is made the old-fashioned way. Walk the grounds, taste the tradition, and take home a bottle of something special. Make the trip, sip the story. Holiday Distillery, Weston, Missouri. Book your tour at holidaydistillery.com.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story, like Brain Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Brain Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner in possible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back into the KCSN Content House here. We're in the Content Corner.
That's right. We are literally in the corner.
We are in the corner.
As it turns out, you can put baby in a corner.
You can. Yeah. Not a real plant. First time I checked that, not a real plant. That one's also not real either. So,
but real windows. So
real windows, yeah. I mean, it's Spaghetti Factory right behind us.
That's frankly why I got the house.
Herbie said, I got to be close to the
I got to
Spaghetti
be able to
Factory.
see it, so if people start filtering in, I don't have to wait. I can just get over there.
Last night, him and Nick went out to the Spaghetti Factory, and he came out here and said, Nick, are you wearing pants? And he was like, what? He's like, are you wearing jeans? And Nick was like, yeah, I'm wearing jeans. Herbie was trying to go to the Spaghetti Factory with sweats.
Oh.
I was like, I'm pretty sure you can. He's like,
they weren't going to stop him.
I was like, I don't think the old Spaghetti Factory has a strict dress code that you have to follow.
Three-piece suit.
Right. And
Would
he's
be
like,
hilarious.
Herbie said, but they took reservations. I was like, there's a lot of places that take reservations that you don't need to wear a strict
That would
dress
be
code.
unbelievably epic if you went to the Spaghetti Factory just like I currently am, and they were like, listen, sir, this is a Spaghetti Factory.
They said, we got it.
You know, we're going to need you to head back to your apartment and put on your suit and then come back.
The old Spaghetti Factory, man. I didn't end up going. Said it was a good meal, though. Also,
I have been there. I've been there once.
rat Nick out here a little bit. Nick's out here to defend himself.
Fine, you can't stop us.
But they have like some Italian ice cream out there, which I just thought that was gelato, but I guess there's Italian ice
really?
cream as well. Yeah, so Italian ice cream where they had like a house flavor. I guess Nick just got vanilla, and Herbie was dogging on him big time. He's like, why did you just get vanilla?
Look, while we're telling things about Nick when he can't defend himself.
Right.
Okay. Last year we went, the first time I met Nick, we went to St. Elmo's. He, myself, and BJ, you were dying of food poisoning.
I was not well. Yeah.
And I got a shrimp cocktail because, I'm an adult.
Yeah.
And
Great shrimp
they got a shrimp cocktail to split, and they left one of the shrimp there. And I looked at Nick, BJ, the two of them.
Uh-huh.
Like, if you don't have that, I can't respect you as a person. And he reluctantly ate it as the horseradish got to him. But the peer pressure also got to him as much as the horseradish.
Yeah.
It had to be done.
I'm excited for people to see the Tucker Does video because I recorded myself taking the horseradish and having it hit me right in the back of the head.
That stuff, it's not a long-lasting
No,
kick,
it's not.
But for the 5 seconds it clears you right out. Your sinuses are good to go after that, man.
I've never taken a flashbang before, but I can assume that that's what it's like.
I'm sure that's a fair comp. Yeah.
I think that's the only fair comp to have. What's also like taking a flashbang is watching Tua. That's like taking a flashbang as well. There's some problems around this league, Matt, when it comes to
Tua is the big one.
Tua is the biggest one.
I'm sure John Eric Sullivan would agree with that. The new GM there for the Dolphins.
Yeah, we were sitting there and we saw that John Eric Sullivan was going to come up next. And I said, I don't know if I want to listen to this.
Yeah.
I said, I think I'm going to go ahead and split out early. But the quarterback play from a lot of these teams leaves more to be desired.
Correct. Yes.
And Tua has a massive contract. Kyler has a massive contract. There's conversations from both the Cardinals and the Dolphins on what they're going to do for this next year for these quarterbacks that are under massive contracts that have been, frankly, ass.
Yeah.
That's putting it nicely.
I was going to say, super mega is on the table.
It's
for
very
both
much
guys.
on the table. Have you learned anything here? What the Cardinals plan to do with either their quarterbacks?
Yeah, they'd like to trade them immediately.
Right.
Both guys, both GMs, Sullivan and Austin, for all options are on the table, which is code for, oh my God, please make an offer.
Please call us. Yeah.
Listen, Tua is untradeable. The contract's ridiculous. Like they can't move him.
Yeah.
Kyler, if they moved him, it's basically 3 and 76, and it's all non-guaranteed. It's year to year. They could trade him.
The Jets will talk themselves into it.
Oh, the Jets will. The Jets will be first rounder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, go number 2.
Yeah, we'll give you. Yeah, we have 2 and 3. Yeah. I mean, so they can move Kyler. Tua is also scary because he's one concussion away. Seriously, from doesn't play football anymore.
Absolutely.
So that's a part of the calculus as well. But listen, I think realistically, that situation in Arizona, situation in Miami, it does lend to the question of, if you're a team with a quarterback on a rookie deal who is not a slam dunk player, we're not talking about Mahomes and Allen and even guys like Burrow. Yes, the injury, but he's a great player. Guys who you're like, okay, maybe good, but not great, or hasn't been great, but trending upward.
Yeah.
Are you signing those guys to what is now becoming $60 million a year plus? I mean, that is where this thing's going. And right now, the 5th-year options that are due in May of this year are Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. Everybody pretty much universally agrees that Bryce Young is not getting a 5th-year option.
May 1st is the deadline for that, right?
I believe it is. It's in May. I know it's in May. Bryce Young is not getting his 5th-year option picked up, barring something really surprising. Stroud, I'm sure, will have his option picked up.
Yeah.
But so if Stroud has another year like this, where he's an average quarterback. He's not terrible. He's not great. He's not what he was as a rookie, where he threw for over 4,000 yards, 23 touchdowns, 5 picks. It was awesome. They win the division. They go to the divisional round. Okay, fine. They've never been the same. You could say some of that's the injuries to the receivers. Some of it's been the line, whatever. Sure. But he's not been the same guy. If you are the Texans and you play out this year and that happens again, and he comes to you and says, cool, I got my 5th-year option left. I want an extension right now, and I want 5 years and $300 million, and I want $220 guaranteed. Are we getting to the point where some of these teams are just going to say, no, I'm not going to do that. And if we have to go find another quarterback, we'll do it. I'm not paying you that money, because we might end up in the spot that Arizona's in, that Miami's in.
Yeah.
We were just in quarterback hell.
And that's arguably worse than not having a quarterback, I would say. Having a quarterback that just sucks, and it's almost, maybe it's not quite hell, but purgatory, right?
Expensive purgatory.
Yeah, an expensive purgatory of and I think sometimes this gets comped to Dak Prescott. I think Dak's a good quarterback, right?
Yeah, he's better than the guys we're talking about.
He is. And it might be unfair for us to put him in this group, but it's kind of true. It's are you going to be able to win an NFC title with Dak as your quarterback?
Right.
Doesn't really look like it.
The answer so far has been no.
But then who else are you gonna bring in to be better than Dak? Exactly. That's more the purgatory part. So I think hell might actually be the right answer, because Kyler's not winning you a division.
No.
CJ Stroud showed that he can, but then he also showed that he can also
have 10 turnovers in 2 games.
That floored me. That legitimately floored me, because I did not think
it's one of the worst 2-game performances you'll ever see in your life.
Man. The Texans, their defense was so good too. They could.
If he did anything, that team goes to Super Bowl, man. If he
takes a sack every time instead of turning it over, they win that.
And the way, of course they didn't know this, but the way it worked out, they would have been playing Jarrett Stidham. You know what that team would have done to Jarrett Stidham?
Golly.
I mean, he had 5 picks and 2 fumbles and 3 recovered fumbles, and that was the end.
Golly.
I just wonder. We're getting to a point. I really these quarterbacks are so expensive.
It's a good. I mean, yeah.
And after this year, I can tell you the next hour we're having that conversation about his Bo Nix. We're sitting here going, okay, look, Broncos media, Broncos fans have been just screaming about how he's so underrated. He's better than you think. Yeah. How do you feel about 5 and 310 for Bo Nix? Because here it comes.
Well, he's coming off an injury now too.
And guess what? They're coming off the injury, and hey man, when you pay that guy $62 million a year, you can't pay your entire defense anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's the other side of this. Because see, when the problem is from a macro standpoint, when you start saying, all right, we like the quarterback, we're going to pay him. Once you pay that guy, he better be the real deal, because you can't surround him with the roster you could put around him.
Yep.
As a first and second and third and fourth year player when he's on a rookie deal, you can't do it anymore. Now all of a sudden, like, Bo Nix with this defense can win games. What can Bo Nix do with the 17th ranked defense in the NFL?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, then what? Is he still good? Or are we sitting here in 2 years going, oh my God, Denver's got a huge problem, right? Like, that is the issue at hand. I think we've seen that time and again, and you start looking at, okay, listen, like, Jalen Hurts, I think, is better than Bo Nix is. Okay, it's my opinion.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts has been on a super team his entire career. Kelsey's now retired, and Lane Johnson is getting up there, and defense fall off. They didn't win a playoff game last year.
Right.
Like, and I'm not like, that's not a slam on Hurts. It's just, it gets harder.
It does.
It's harder and harder and harder and harder to win. Like, when you have a Mahomes, a Josh Allen, a healthy Joe Burrow, it's okay. Yeah, you're paying that guy because that guy elevates everybody on the team. But when you don't have that slam dunk guy, and you're going, yeah, he's the 14th best quarterback. Okay, but the way the world works is you're not paying him like the 14th best quarterback.
Right.
You're paying him based on the market now. You're paying $60+ million a year. And that's what you're seeing with the Cardinals. Look, there's a lot of smoke right now here in Indianapolis that the Cardinals are the team to watch for Malik Willis. Not that there aren't other shooters, but look, Michael LaFleur is the coach in Arizona. His older brother is Matt LaFleur, who just coached Willis for 2 years. Monty Ossenfort is the GM in Arizona. Monty Ossenfort was in Tennessee when they drafted Willis. They have all these weapons. They can move Murray. They've got, even if they don't move Murray, they can afford him. They've got the money to do it.
Yeah.
Like, again, and I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. You were taking a massive gamble. If Malik Willis, who started 3 fucking games over the last 2 years, is not good, you're all fired. Everybody's fired. Ossenfort's gone. LaFleur's gone. That's it. Blow it up. Rebuild it again. And now you wasted Harrison's rookie deal, Michael Wilson's rookie deal. That's the situation that you find yourselves in. And this quarterback class coming out is awful outside of Mendoza. But next year's class, everybody's going crazy about.
Yeah, it should be
so
good.
So do you wait it out? I mean, there's some people think there's going to be 6 quarterbacks in the top 15, 20 picks next year.
Could.
Like, do you wait it? You know, Arch Mannings of the world, Lenore Sellers, guys like that. Do you wait it out? Like, if I'm Miami, bro, I'm making what the Jazz are doing right now. I'm turning that into an art form in Miami.
Did you see that the league sent their independent doctors to the Jazz?
No, but that's hilarious.
MRIs? Yeah.
Like, actually, we didn't take any MRIs. We just said we did.
Yeah.
But like, no, seriously, if I'm Miami, I'd be like, yeah, you know what? Fine. Tua, guess what, bud? 17 games. You and Quinn Ewers. I don't care.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's right. We get to play the Jets. We're going to win twice. We're going 2-15. Arch Manning, come on down, bud, or whoever, right? Yeah. Like, and that, Dante Moore or whoever it ends up being.
Yeah.
And that's where I think a lot of these, look, NFLs have a tanking problem. You might see some teams the last 2 or 3 games of next year just lay down because, hey, we need the quarterback. There's a lot of them.
I did see that Get Up had a segment today about if the NFL has a tanking problem. Did you see that?
I saw the segment they had about the Cowboys being 2 defensive pieces away from winning a Super Bowl.
I've watched too much Get Up just being in a sports bar because they just play it at all hours of the day, apparently. On ESPN News.
Yes, we've seen it multiple days at Kilroy's.
And sometimes you'll just like look up and you'll say, what?
Well, there was like a food recipe on Get Up the other day.
Yeah. Or like off to the side. It just
like about rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, throw the chicken in there for $4.25 for $35, and it's just like, what's going on?
I don't.
It's a fever dream. I'm pretty sure Get Up is a fever dream. The quarterback questions all across, like just the AFC, frankly, are really interesting when you talk about the Steelers, because they could be a potential suitor for Malik Willis if
Steelers,
Cardinals aren't. Aaron Rodgers is going to come back.
What are the Colts doing?
What are the Colts going to do? Anthony Richardson, he has permission to seek a trade. I also have.
Can they find one?
I also have permission to do a lot of things in my life that don't work out. Yes. So I mean, good for him to have permission to seek that. But
yes,
you talk about that. The Browns, they have 2 Pro Bowl quarterbacks on their roster, but apparently they want another one. Yeah.
The Jets still proving otherwise.
Brady Cook, it looks like a leader in the clubhouse for that team. And I'm a Mizzou fan. That's tough. Brady Cook is going to be your.
We're going to go to like NFL Network does like the training camp live show where they just bounce around. We're going to go to Jets camp. Salah's just going to. I'm sorry, not Salah. Glenn is just going to be just chain smoking. It's going to look like a human prairie fire watching Brady Cook throw the football.
You think the Jets would let us do a live That Football Show from training camp?
I highly doubt it.
Yeah, probably not.
I highly doubt it. Just
probably not.
Adjusted for Jets.
We just wear our adjusted for Jets shirts.
I am planning on going to Jets training camp this year as part of my tour. So
maybe I'll see if they'll credential me to tag along. They won't.
They may not credential me. There've been some issues over the years with
Sure.
Let's just say not so much with me personally, but just in general, the Jets are an interesting team. Let's just put it
in more ways than one.
Yes,
they're an interesting.
Yeah, they're just not interesting on the field.
Yeah. So like the Jets got a lot of questions. It's so interesting talking to a bunch of people that we know that cover different teams and like the situations and what they have going on is, I can't imagine. Right now, as it stands, would Patrick Mahomes be the oldest starting quarterback? Obviously, Aaron Rodgers not back in the AFC. Would he be the oldest starting quarterback? Because he'll turn 31
in September. Yeah, I think he probably is.
Because I mean, he's older than Allen. He's older than Lamar.
Crazy. Yeah.
He's older than Herbert. He's the
barely older.
Barely older.
He's older than Allen by like 6 months.
Yeah, not much, but
yeah, I think he is. He is. Unless Geno rides again with the Raiders.
He shouldn't.
Yeah. He won't. It's gonna be.
Did you see Spytek's quote about we're in the business of getting good football players? And I was like, well, you gotta.
You've been in the wrong business then for 25 years.
You need to do better about that.
Speaking of which, I saw Derek Carr's looking to come back.
Yeah, my favorite part was he was like, I need to be on the Super Bowl contender, and you and I talked about
as a backup.
Kind of impossible to be him be starting quarterback and then be a Super Bowl contender. So, yeah, Derek Carr does want to come back. Who do you think? Well, it's going to be Fernando Mendoza. Actually, I was going to say who do you think could be the quarterback there, but that doesn't really help them.
Look, if Mendoza ends up being great, then awesome. But if Mendoza's like a lot of people have compared him to like a mobile Jared Goff, then all right, he better be a mobile Jared Goff because they can't block anyone. So
imagine that being your ceiling, though. Too,
it's one of those years you don't want to have the number 1 overall pick.
Like when the Chiefs drafted in 2013, there's like you have to make a guy up to be the marketing guy because what are we going to market, a tackle?
Luke Jokel?
Yeah,
who everybody thought Chiefs were going to take till like 2 days for the draft, and it was like, or this guy from Western Michigan, which to their credit, they picked the right guy.
It's so fun. Have you ever heard?
And then they took Kelsey in the 3rd round that year.
Yeah. I mean, they ended up giving some hits in that draft. But have you heard Eric Fisher tell the story of his draft day?
I don't remember it. No.
So he didn't think he was going to be number 1 overall.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He didn't think. He told the story, I think, a couple of years ago. Maybe it was before the KC draft with the whole one-on-one podcast. Mike DeVito and Jeff Allen, they had him on and they talked about his whole thing. And he remember going into his senior year, he like was surprised that people told him that he was a draft prospect. He was like, they want me to play in the National Football League? Ended up being a pretty decent left tackle for the Chiefs. Was a number 1 overall pick. And
played for like almost a decade.
I know. Yeah. I think
a couple Pro Bowls.
I think now I don't think people give as much flack to that pick as they did back when
it happened. Well, at the time, the draft, that draft class, you go back and look, was brutal.
Horrible.
Okay. The Chiefs, ironically, did a really good job. They had him and Kelsey.
I think Geno Smith was in that draft, was he not?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, they did a good job by not taking him too.
I remember as 2013, I would have been 15 years old. I was thinking like, man, do I really have to like Geno Smith? I remember thinking like, and was Geno Smith going to be the quarterback of the Chiefs?
Yeah, back when he was on West Virginia with who was a receiver, Austin.
Yeah, Tavon Austin.
Incredible
college highlights.
Yeah,
unbelievable. The best college highlights.
And then went to the Rams and just.
Well, the Rams were the Rams.
Yeah. Playing the Nakoma Dome there in St. Louis. There's no excitement whatsoever. It was like a mausoleum.
You know what the name of that dome is now?
Now? No, I have no idea.
The Dome at America's Center.
It should just be knocked over.
The America's Center's in Kansas.
Oh.
The center of America, like if you look at
geographically speaking,
speaking, is like in Kansas somewhere.
Okay.
It's like north central Kansas. So like the fact that
I'm
St.
surprised
Louis,
Nick didn't get to that fact yesterday at lunch.
yeah, I mean, look, he was rattling off Kansas facts.
We learned a lot about Kansas. We'll put it there.
But
But
that kid loves himself some Kansas.
do you remember that? So I remember when that stadium opened, when the Rams moved to St. Louis. They initially played at Busch Stadium for like a handful of games.
Did not.
Because it wasn't ready yet.
Yeah.
And then it was a Tranquill Dome. And then it became
Edward Jones.
Yeah, Edward Jones.
Edward Jones
That was
Dome.
most for most of the time. But yeah, they
used to play state there in Missouri for years. I never ever got close to that, but that's where they used to play the state tournament. The state championship was the Edward Jones.
in New York's in the old Carrier Dome.
Really?
Yeah, that's where it was.
I watched a video today about where every team plays their high school basketball state championships.
Oh.
And that one, I guess I didn't realize that New York State plays a different state championship than New York City.
Okay, let me
high
tell you
schools
something.
do.
If like Christ the King High School, which is a factory for great basketball players,
Yeah.
down in New York City, if they played against like some school where like near where I grew up, the line would be 80 points. Okay.
Well, shout out Matt Hamilton. He coaches at New Rochelle. That's where he
Yes,
coaches.
okay, I know where that is. Yeah, for sure. I mean, dude, that is New York State needs to be like New York City's basketball is ridiculous.
Yeah, that makes
okay.
sense.
New York City basketball is awesome. As we call it in New York, upstate, which is hilarious. So if you look at a map of New York, where I grew up, is as far downstate as you can get. It's not on the island or in New York City.
Right.
And people are like, oh, you're upstate garbage. I'm like, I'm in the bottom 10% of the state geographically, right? But the upstate version, you're, oh my God. Like if we sent a team from Syracuse for high school to New York City in a basketball tournament, it would be 90-10. Yeah. So yes, there's a separation there.
I found that out. I thought that was interesting, but it does makes a ton of sense. But yeah, no, I this whole season is going to be interesting as we get there. We're talking about quarterbacks and talking about how everything progresses and free agency. We'll have plenty of things to get to bed. I'm kind of, as we wrap up the show here, Matt, this is like rumor season, right?
Sure.
Hasn't really been a ton of rumors going around.
Nothing salacious.
No one got in a fight at a Starbucks.
It's just really unfortunate, honestly.
Yeah. Imagine if I was doing the Tucker Does video last year and we're like, let's go find the Starbucks. Let's go see the scene of the crime.
I think the biggest things right now to watch for as we get ready for free agency are just like, okay, so the quarterbacks we just talked about, Murray, Tua, Murray specifically, does he get traded?
Yeah.
That's number one. Because the Cardinals, like, we've been in contact, it's good. Then like 2 hours later, like Murray camp leaked out, like, we haven't talked to them once.
Right.
So it's not great. So like, does he get traded? Keep in mind too, tag deadline is March, I think 3rd. Second or third?
Third, yeah.
Third, okay. So that's got to be done. I don't anticipate a whole lot of tags, but there'll be a few. I'll tell you one guy to watch because I think he's going to have one of the hottest markets, if not the is Linderbaum.
Ooh,
talking to people around the league, look, Ravens definitely want him back. DeCosta talked about that at this podium. Made it very clear they made a market-setting deal. You could tell he's kind of annoyed.
Yeah.
Giants, word is that they're in. Lions are kind of the dark horse. Like, they need a new center. I still don't think they can afford it. Chargers, Bradley Bozeman just retired.
Yep.
Where did Joe Horvitz come from? Baltimore. Okay, who's there when they drafted Linderbaum? If he gets to the market, the Chargers are going to be a player for Linderbaum.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on that. Keep an eye. Cousins and Willis are the two guys at quarterback. Like, where are they going to go? I would not be surprised if we get a reunion with Cousins in Minnesota. I think that's possible. I'm not saying it's definite, but it's possible. We're waiting to see what the hell Rodgers does, which what else is new. It's like year 6 of as the world turns. He may be in a cave somewhere that it doesn't have light. We don't know. So those, and then of course for the Chiefs, what about the running backs? Like, does Walker make it to free agency?
That'll be interesting.
I would imagine ETN does. We all expect that. Somebody honks outside like an asshole. And then does Michael Pittman get cut? Yeah, add him to the receivers. Those are the things to watch. We're a week and a half out, and then it's complete chaos because it's the hampering period. Half of free agency is done by the time we get to actual free agents.
If the Chiefs land like ETN/Walker,
or it's both of them,
power move.
chaos. Yeah,
I say we have both of them Now you trade us.
Right, we'll take a second round pick.
Yeah, we need a second rounder. Why don't teams do that more? I think
the
we talked
draft
about that.
day movie, you know.
We got to hold picks hostage here is what we got to do. And maybe the Chiefs should trade up to 1 and get Fernando Mendoza, then hold the whole league hostage.
It'd be great if the Raiders were just amenable to that.
Okay, yes, sir, whatever.
They're not taking him.
Right. Yeah. We'll get him at 9. No, but I do think that when we have this, if they are able to get Pittman and if they're able to get ETN, personally, I would feel a whole lot better going to the draft because you're
So
sitting back.
Mahomes. They thank God. Might re-injure himself jumping off the couch.
I'd be sitting back thinking like, all right, whoever falls at 9, you just take the best player.
Right. At that point, it's like Bain or Bailey or you know, if you lose Watson. Dark horse thing for the Chiefs, by the way, if they lose Watson, would they draft a corner? Like if they fill out their roster,
they could if
your scenario plays out. They could. It wouldn't be crazy.
I wouldn't be surprised if somebody is going to give a whole lot of money. Not saying the Chiefs, but any other team's going to give a whole lot of money to Brian Cook or Leo Chanel. Or both of them, truthfully.
Watson too.
I think that those guys could get overpaid. Not in the negative context.
No, like more than you think.
Yeah, they'll get paid more than you think. Yeah.
I think you're right. Like I could see the Chiefs kind of going to the mat for Cook because they've paid safeties before.
They kind of have to.
But like, man, if Watson gets like 480 somewhere, the Chiefs aren't paying him. They're not. And if Chanel gets like $8-9 million a year,
you can't.
I mean, the only way you're doing that is if you cut Tranquill and you're just like,
you can't sink more money into linebacker.
Right. So it's like, but yeah, I mean, all 3 of those guys aren't coming back. 1 probably, 2 maybe, not 3.
2, I would be floored with 2.
I'd be surprised.
Yeah, I think 1 is probably like what I would expect, and honestly, I could see any 3 of them being the 1, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would lean more toward Cook or Chanel just because it sounds like they want to extend McDuffie. But that was the one thing the Veach did say was like that was like a big priority, like meeting some people here or anything else. So, well, I mean, all of last year it was like, well, McDuffie, Rice, and then Rice was just like McDuffie. Okay, okay then.
He made that decision for them, which.
Like, watch how irresponsible I can be. Here we go. And then, like, had that Instagram post this week where it was like,
if you need to make money on an app, he knows where you
need to get a bag, a real bag. He's got the hookup.
That's a guy.
That's a guy you want to give $100 million to and just hope for the best. I mean, oh my God, man.
God bless him.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's going to do it for that football show. Thank you guys so much. I checked earlier for podcast reviews. Nobody's done it, so
thanks for nothing.
Appreciate it, I guess. Thank you guys so much for watching all the content we've done here at KC Sports Network. Getting ready for the scouting combine. Have a conversation with Trevor Sikkema that hit the airwaves. Gonna have a conversation with Brett Coleman as well. So go check those out. Obviously, a bunch of Matt Miller stuff. So if you like Matt Miller and his draft takes, he will be all over the channel.
Going to dinner with him tonight.
We are going with dinner with him tonight. We had to record this early. You guys know how we usually record the podcast is like late at night.
Midnight.
Yeah, we usually record pretty late.
This one had to happen a little earlier on.
It did because we got a dinner reservation. Thursday night of every draft or of every combine, we kind of have a big dinner to cap it all off. Yes. And we'll see how late Prime 47 gets to stay open tonight, but we're going to try.
They have a DJ now at Prime 47. It is chaos in that place.
I've not been to Prime yet. I'd only been done High Velocity yet.
I've been to Prime multiple times. It's hat trick tonight.
Hat trick?
Yeah. I just lay face down on my bed. Yeah.
What's the third one? Cantina?
No. There's a third night in a row I'm going to Prime.
Oh, I thought you were going. I was like, man, you're going to pregame a High Velocity before dinner? That's what I thought you were saying. I was like, holy cow, that's hardcore.
8 p.m. High Velocity.
It's like, who's going to be out
missing anybody?
Who's going to be out then?
That's what we do at Sports Illustrated. We post up during the daytime, and we just wait it out.
Hotel bars.
See John and say, hey, what are you doing with this guy?
I went to the Starbucks, saw Mike Bradway.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're around, man.
He got a workout in when we saw him, but
good for him.
Yeah, I mean, better man than I am.
I brought all my workout clothes. Nothing.
They got any pickleball indoor?
They're like 25 minutes away. I brought it. And I was like, all right, I'll go play. Yeah, there's like one place that does, but it's closed this week. Which sucks.
What?
It's a bullshit place. And then everybody, I was like, this is crap. So I already scheduled like the entire weekend out, so I can just go sweat to death, sweat out all the debauchery coming at Prime 47.
Yeah. Well, that's going to do it for the show. Thank you guys so much. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate you riding or dying for the podcast. Right. Yeah. If that football show riders. Oh, hey, also, you can go to shopkcsn.com. We have that football show shirts out now. You can get those. They got hats too, so you can go get those. Maybe we'll make some more shirts that say just for Jets, or
eventually we'll do a signing at like a barbecue joint. Hang out.
We're going to do a signing at the dumpster that Mark Sanchez stabbed the dude at. That's what the signing's going to be. Or we'll do the signing at the Niners substation.
Jets camp.
At Jets camp? Yeah, Jets camp.
We'll see you outside Jets camp at Florham Park.
Right. Yeah, we'll do. Yeah. We will have to make sure, especially when we get back to Kansas City, we do a little bit of a get together for everyone too. But appreciate all the support. Support us by supporting Ben Holiday Bald and Bomb Bourbon as well, and Holiday Distillery. They make this whole thing possible. So we love you. We appreciate you. We will talk to you guys on Monday.